Wow. Okay, you guys really threw us a curveball with this deep dive request. We're going deep into the world of Hunter Avallone,
Oh, yeah.
this YouTuber who's, how do I put this? Not exactly afraid of a little controversy.
Right.
From what we've seen, he's going after like woke culture
Right.
and political correctness
Hmm.
and a whole bunch of other stuff too. You ready to double unpack this?
It does seem like Avalon's really tapping into, like some of the anxieties and frustrations that
Uh-huh.
people are feeling these days. And he's definitely doing it in a way that gets attention.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But, I think beyond just like the provocative style,
Yeah.
there are actually some pretty interesting social and cultural trends he's pointing to that we can definitely explore.
Okay, so like where do we even begin? I'm seeing videos about everything, Halloween costumes, Eminem's career, even wait,
Yeah, he covers a lot.
that's SpongeBob SquarePants.
He really does run the gamut, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I think a good place to start might be with that whole Halloween costume controversy. This is where we really see Avalone kind of going after what he sees as like the excesses of woke culture,
Hmm.
and political correctness.
Right.
He's basically taking aim at this video by these two women who are warning against cultural appropriation in costumes.
Right.
And let's just say he doesn't exactly hold back.
Yeah. No kidding. He's basically calling them out for like making up problems and not having any real evidence for their claims. He specifically challenges their whole thing about blackface being a widespread issue.
Hmm.
He even throws in some statistics about popular costumes, to back himself up.
Yeah, that's a classic Avalone move, right?
Definitely.
He often uses statistics and data, or at least what he presents as data,
Yeah.
to try and support his arguments.
Right.
Even if those arguments are, let's say, a little,
Selective.
selective in their interpretation.
Okay, but he doesn't stop there.
Oh, no, not at all.
He also mocks their advice about checking with diverse friends before wearing a potentially offensive costume. And he's like, everyone's offended by something.
Mhm.
You could practically hear him rolling his eyes.
Right, it's that whole, come on, people, lighten up kind of vibe.
Yeah.
He's pushing back against what he sees as this culture of oversensitivity and political correctness,
Right.
where everyone's like way too quick to take offense.
But where do you draw the line between appreciation and appropriation, though?
Right.
I mean, can't
Yeah.
you appreciate another culture without being offensive?
That's the big question, isn't it? And it's
Wow.
one that doesn't have an easy answer. There are definitely clear-cut cases of cultural appropriation
Right.
where someone's, blatantly mocking or disrespecting another culture.
Right, right.
But then there are also a lot of, gray areas.
Yeah.
Where the lines are way blurrier.
So how do you, navigate those gray areas? How do you engage with other cultures in a way that's, respectful and
Mm.
appreciative without crossing that line?
Well, I think it's about being mindful, being informed, and being willing to listen to and learn from, people from those cultures.
Okay.
It's about understanding the history
Right.
and the context behind cultural symbols and practices,
Mm-hmm.
and recognizing that something that might seem harmless to you,
Yeah.
or even a compliment,
Right.
could actually be deeply offensive to someone else.
Okay, so we've talked about the Halloween costumes,
Right.
but Avalone doesn't stop there.
Oh, no.
He's got a whole video about Eminem's career,
Oh, boy.
and I'm not sure I'm ready for this one.
Yeah.
He's basically arguing that Eminem's music has gone downhill
Mhm.
because he's embraced what Avalone sees as liberal viewpoints.
Okay.
He even brings up that, infamous Trump diss track
Right.
and the song Untouchable as, prime examples.
This is an interesting one because it really gets into this whole idea of celebrity activism
Okay.
and how audiences react when, their favorite artists express political opinions
Yeah.
that might not exactly align with, the majority of their fan base.
Right, right.
And Eminem's a really good example of this
Yeah.
because he built his career on pushing boundaries and challenging norms.
Right.
And now he's kind of facing this backlash for expressing views that some fans find to be too woke or
Yeah.
too politically correct.
And Avalone definitely seems to be siding with those fans who are, feeling alienated
Mhm.
by Eminem's more recent work. He's accusing Eminem of expressing white guilt
Right.
and buying into a black victim narrative, which is
It's pretty loaded, yeah.
a lot.
It definitely raises the question, are celebrities obligated to stay silent on social and political issues?
Yeah.
Or do they have, like a responsibility to use their platforms to
Yeah.
speak out against injustice?
Right.
And then, how should audiences respond when their favorite artists express views that they just like flat out disagree with?
It's a good question.
It's a tough one.
And then Avalon takes it even further by, like, throwing in this totally unrelated example. He labels Pete Davidson, the SNL guy,
Right.
a cuck because he got a Hillary Clinton tattoo.
Right.
Like, what does that even have to do with Eminem?
Well, it is a bit of a tangent,
Right.
but I think it kind of illustrates another element of Avalon's style, which is this,
Like, going off on weird tangent.
well, that too, but I was going to say his use of like inflammatory language and insults to,
Right.
like demean his opponents.
Right.
The term cuck in particular is a really,
Charged word.
it's definitely charged.
Yep.
It's been adopted by certain online communities
Oh, yeah.
as a way to like attack men who they perceive as weak or subservient,
Right.
often in a political context.
It's like he's trying to shut down any dissenting opinions, not through, like, reasoned argument or anything,
Yeah.
but through just, like, mockery and name-calling.
It's a tactic that's become really, unfortunately, common in like online discourse,
Oh, yeah.
where the goal often seems to be to just like score points and win the argument,
Right.
rather than to actually have a genuine conversation
Right.
and, try to understand different perspectives. It can get pretty frustrating, can it?
Oh, yeah.
Trying to have a nuanced conversation when the other side's like just throwing insults
Right.
doesn't really lead to productive dialogue.
Well, brace yourself, because next, Avalon really goes in on feminism.
Oh, boy.
He has this, like, whole series of videos where he picks apart feminist tweets and articles
Okay.
highlighting what he sees as hypocrisy and double standards.
Yeah.
It's pretty intense.
This is where we really start to see like Avalon's core argument taking shape, I think.
Okay.
He's essentially saying that, modern feminism has gone too far,
Mhm.
that it's become this like angry, man-hating movement
Okay.
that's more interested in complaining than in actual equality.
So, like, what's he using to support that?
Well, he spends a lot of time focusing on the men are trash movement,
Right.
which he portrays as this like radical fringe ideology
Okay.
that wants to eliminate men altogether.
What?
He even points to this one tweet calling for like literally the eradication of men
No. Yeah.
as like proof that feminism is inherently misandrist.
I mean, is it though?
Well, it's important to remember that the men are trash movement is actually a lot more complex
Okay.
than Avalon makes it seem.
Okay.
It originated in South Africa as
Mhm.
a response to the country's really high rates of violence against women.
Right.
And it's meant to highlight, toxic masculinity
Okay.
and the patriarchal structures
Right.
that contribute to that violence.
So it's not actually about, like, literally throwing all men in the trash.
No, of course not.
Okay.
It's about calling out these harmful behaviors and attitudes
Okay.
that are often like excused or overlooked
Right.
because they're seen as normal for men.
Right. Right.
But Avalon's presentation of the movement, it kind of strips away all that nuance and context
Yeah.
and makes it seem like it's just, a bunch of angry women
Right.
ranting about how much they hate men, which isn't really accurate.
And he also mocks this tweet that encourages women to cultivate female friendships
Mm-hmm.
and kill all men,
Right.
taking completely literally.
Yeah, I saw that one.
And using it as, like, further evidence that feminists are, irrational and dangerous.
Again, it's like he's taking things out of context.
Right.
And ignoring the fact that a lot of feminist rhetoric
Yeah.
is meant to be provocative and challenging.
Okay.
It's not always meant to be taken literally.
Right. Right.
But by presenting these like really extreme examples as if they're representative of, feminism as a whole,
Yeah.
Avalon creates this really distorted and misleading picture
Mm-hmm.
of what the movement is actually about.
And it's not just the men are trash stuff either.
Yeah, not at all.
He goes after, like, articles about women's empowerment too.
Right.
Like one celebrating this new Monopoly game
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
where women make more money than men.
Uh-huh.
And he sees this as another example of, like, feminist hypocrisy.
Mhm.
He's arguing that feminists want equality,
Right.
but then they also want, like, special treatment.
This goes back to like one of Avalon's biggest critiques of feminism,
Okay.
which is that, feminists are always playing the victim,
Oh.
that they're never satisfied,
Right.
and they're constantly looking for things to be outraged about.